This is episode number 117 of the Homeowner Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We're glad that you could join us. I'm just sitting here playing with my new toy, so ignore me. How you doing, Kev?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a long day. The day that we're recording this, it just tends to be a long day in my week, but I'm doing good. Things are pretty good.
Yeah,
over here. So, how are you doing?
Dude, I got the COVID test today.
Oh, you did?
I did.
You didn't tell me that.
I did. I nose swabbed myself.
How was it? Wait, you nose swabbed yourself?
I nose swabbed myself.
Okay.
So we opted for the drive-through experience at the CVS.
Okay.
Which was actually really easy.
Okay.
Yeah, no big deal.
Now, did you do it because you've recently been out of town, or did you have another reason that you needed to get it done?
Well, I have been recently out of town, but that had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So no, we're about to jet off to St. John's.
That's right.
In order, so I think if we were, I don't know all the specifics of it because my wife handles everything. She's amazing. We're flying into St. Thomas, then we have to take a boat from St. Thomas to St. John's.
Okay.
I know for certain that we have to have a negative COVID test in order to get on the island at St. John's.
Okay.
So that was the whole reason.
Okay.
Because the lady in the line, she's like, "Oh dear, you feeling okay?" And I was like, "I feel great."
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, why are you here?" I was like, "Because I want to go on vacation."
Right. I'm out.
I'm out of here.
So,
peace out, old lady.
So you had to do the whole nose swab thing.
Yeah, it was like
did you have to
you circle the nose 3 times, you hold for 15 seconds, then you pull out, and then you do the other side.
Oh, so this isn't like touch your brain type of thing like they were saying early on.
No. I mean, like you have to, you got to wedge it up in there, but
yeah, I was getting the whole like the idea of like, oh, they just poked my brain type of thing.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about how uncomfortable it was.
I mean, I tried to make myself as uncomfortable as possible, and just because that story had been circulating around. I want to make sure I was doing it right.
Sure. You want to get the full experience.
I want the full Rona, the full Rona swab.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little tear in the in the corner of my eye. I shoved it up in there.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, and the lady goes, "Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it?"
Ugh.
And I was like, "What? Just doing what you told me to."
Right. Yeah, exactly. Interesting.
It wasn't complicated or...
So do you already have the results, or did you have to wait?
They say within like 2 to 3 business days.
Okay.
And we could only... So this was the complicated part, is our test results couldn't be any older than 5 days.
Okay.
And so you get your results in 2 to 3 days, and so you have to get it at a specific day before you leave to go. And so this was like the day that we had to go get it.
So you're going to have to get another one in St. John before you can get back?
No.
Okay.
Because Texas doesn't care.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Not surprising.
So bring it on.
Yeah.
We're going to get that old herd immunity.
Exactly.
So.
Well, I went ahead and did something today.
All right.
And I don't know what it's going to be like. You've been down this road a little bit further than I have.
Oh.
I don't. But I'm. Yeah, you don't know what's coming.
I've been down many roads.
Yeah. So, I scheduled a guy to come out to my house on Friday to talk to me about solar.
Ooh.
Yeah. So here's what happened.
Did you call David?
No.
Okay.
Although
he listens to the show. He's gonna get his feelings hurt.
Oh, I know. I'm fully aware.
All right.
But this is just research at this point, because I'm fully aware that there are multiple different ways to do this if I chose to do it, and I'm not convinced that I'm going to, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But I actually got hoodwinked by a Facebook ad.
Oh.
So it was a Facebook ad that specifically said that Entergy, which is the energy company that we use, it's the only one we can use where we live, is doing a deal, whatever the deal is,
sure.
right? And so I thought, you know what? Click on the ad. So I clicked on the ad, and took me through a couple of steps. Does this actually fit in your neighborhood?
Right.
And it does. And so I went ahead and filled out the stuff. Thought, you know what? We'll just try it.
What the heck?
So tried it out, and I got this little notification that said, okay, soon you're going to be getting a phone call, and go ahead and answer it, because we're going to be trying to schedule an appointment for someone to come out.
Right.
Within 20 seconds, my phone was ringing. Okay. Now, the crazy thing, or not crazy, I don't know, is that my phone said telemarketer on it. So anyway, I picked up the phone. Nice lady answered, "Hey, are you so-and-so? Just got your information. We'd like to schedule an opportunity to come out and check things out." So they're actually coming on Friday, and that's 2 days from now. So, I mean, that's really quick.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
So did they ask you to have like 3 months of bills ready? And
no, they only need 1 month.
1 month.
They need last month's bill.
Okay.
And they just want to look at some things. Here's going to be the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I need a new roof. You remember we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I need a new roof. And so this is the hard part, because I know a lot of tax breaks end in 2020.
Yes.
So if we were to go down this road, I would have to figure out a way to get a new roof before then.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it makes no sense.
Well, and maybe not. So what these guys will tell you sometimes, and you know, if you got to work with the right company in order for this to work, but they'll tell you like, hey, if you ever need to replace the roof, please call us first, because we'll come and take it down while the new roof is being put up, and then we'll put it back up.
Oh, at what cost though?
I don't think at any cost.
What? Interesting.
I mean, David, if you're out there listening, please call and fact check me on that. But I seem to remember that being in somebody's spiel that they gave to me, was like, hey, if you need a new roof, let us know.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Like, I think that there is a lot of value if my roof is accessible, which I have.
You have really tall trees around your house.
I do. I have some really.
What direction does your house face?
My house faces east.
Your house faces east.
So, and I get a lot of really good morning sun because I have no trees in my front yard.
So if your house
the backyard that I have
east, which side of your house? If I'm facing your house, which side of your house is south?
The side that my air conditioning system is on.
Yeah, they're not going to like you.
So they need south.
The south side is typically where they like to put the system.
Okay.
Or the panels.
Well, and that's where I've got the most amount of trees.
So I mean, just for reference, I mean, because you know my property.
Yeah.
Everyone else listening doesn't. But like where the party deck is, on the side that's closest to the yard open area, that's the south side.
Yep.
And like they all drool over that.
Sure.
And so directly above the studio where we're at right now is where they also wanted to put it, but they wanted to chop down my giant oak tree.
And you said no.
And I said, you go pound sand.
Yeah, I mean, they actually asked that question. I talked with this lady for 4 minutes. I mean, it was a really short conversation. But she said, are you willing to take down trees if they impede the sunlight? And I said, we'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
Sometimes they're willing to take the trees down for you in order to get the system installed.
Yeah, and if that's the case, we'll discuss it.
But that may be an issue with your neighbors.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if my neighbors care one way or the other. What I do know is that I live in a very different neighborhood, and it's a POA, Property Owners Association, instead of HOA. And some of the things that they allow you to do or don't allow you to do is ridiculous.
Right.
There's a very good possibility they would just tell me no.
Right.
You can't do that, especially whenever they know it's for solar. You know, they mean, you don't have to do that, so you don't have to take down the tree. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Actually, one of the guys that came out here wanted to put them on risers out in the pasture.
Oh.
And And I was like, I mean, like, if I was using the pasture for nothing else,
right,
maybe.
Right.
But, like, I mean,
you got horsies.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do when, like, my daughter, like, runs into one of them?
Exactly. Like, now, can you make them to be, like, obstacles?
Yeah. But, I mean, like, somebody's going to get their head knocked off.
Yeah.
My kids are going to climb it.
Sure.
Let's not do that.
Not going to work. Yeah, so I'm not holding out high hopes. However, I will say that the upside to the solar option is pretty high.
Yeah, if they can get your electricity to match, then it becomes favorable. The issue is when your payments for the solar system are close to what your electricity costs, and then the solar's not producing like it ought to.
Yeah,
and you're having to double dip.
Yeah, can't do that.
So
yeah, so
you can, but you'll just eat
ramen. What's the point? I mean. We're not going to go under just to get solar. I mean, there's better ways to do that, but I'm going to at least explore the option.
Yeah, for sure,
and see what happens.
So I mean, because to a certain degree, they have to guarantee an amount of electricity that those panels are going to produce.
Yep.
And that was really the conversation I ended up having with the guys that came out to our place. Was like, look, what happens if they're underproducing?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I'm not getting the output that I should be, and I'm having to make these payments to my electrical company? And most of them told me that said, like, look, if it's not functioning the way that it should, and you're not getting the output that we promised you, then we need to come out and fix it.
Okay.
And I was like, so do I then have to pay for that, or is that something you guys are going to take care of? And I think I talked to like 3 different companies. All of them seem to indicate that like they would take care of that.
Okay. So what ultimately caused you not to go with it?
The big thing for us is, while I can control the electricity in my house because I have other people living on the property, I can't necessarily control
how much consumption,
how they behave.
Yeah.
And so that was a big deterrent for us. Was, you kind of get that feeling that once you put solar in and people are like, oh, electricity's free now, let's just leave everything on all the time.
Yeah.
That and I'm not saying that anybody would do that, but that's just, people can fall into that mentality really, really quickly. And when I don't want to spend my time fussing at people, who aren't my children, about turning the lights off.
Sure.
Or turning the air conditioner off, or getting a smart thermostat, or whatever. Yeah. I don't feel like that's my job. So, and the way it works now is the people who stay in the other places, like, they have to pay their own bills.
Yeah.
So, so they tend to be rather responsible with the way that they use electricity.
Sure.
So that was a big deterrent for us. I think if it was just us in the house, it would be a much easier sell.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that, if they can do it, one of the things that will be a benefit for me that I feel like is, we've already been talking about before hurricane season next year, putting in a system so that we've got electricity, some sort of a generator system, and this could potentially fix that problem as well.
Well, and the other thing for us was what made our system a little bit pricier was we wanted to put a whole home battery.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Is I think that it would be most effective to do that as well.
Right.
And I know those batteries are super expensive.
They're like $10K.
Yeah. So
for a good one,
you add a Tesla battery or whatever it is,
right,
into the cost of the solar. I don't know if it's going to be worth it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and and if I send you over here and he's not still doing, I think David is still. I mean, like, the homeowner show sort of birthed another podcast called David Talks Solar. So I think he's still doing that show.
I need to go check it out.
I'll apologize to David. I haven't checked in a while, but one of the things that I remember him talking about in that episode that we did about that made his company a little bit different from the other ones is they'll actually do like an efficiency check on the home. and then address those issues.
Right. I remember that. Yeah, they would. If you've got bad windows or your doors are not a certain whatever, if you've got draft coming in,
they're going to help. They're going to address those issues. And I think it also comes with like all their solar systems come with smart thermostats, even though you've already got all that.
Sure.
But they'll address other issues in the home that are going to help increase the energy efficiency of it, so that you get more out of that solar system.
Right.
Which I mean, like for somebody like me. It's like, man, if you're going to address all the drafts, knock yourself out.
Bring it on. Yeah. Well, we are not talking about efficiency of electricity today.
Although this thing is a little drafty.
It can produce a draft.
It can produce a draft.
Yeah. So today we're gonna review another product that Craig and I actually have both talked about wanting on the show, and since we've talked about wanting it on the show, we've gone and both purchased.
That's true.
One of them, and that is the Ryobi Inflator.
If you see right here, the power inflator.
The power. It's actually called the High Pressure Inflator with Digital Guage.
Yes.
So,
but on the side it says power inflator.
It does say that. Yeah, and so we can
we just go ahead and get this out of the way? I mean, just the.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, we knew going. First of all, we'll say maybe one of the pros, depending on who you are, or a con to this thing is that you just gotta look at the trigger and it starts going.
Yeah, this is a Doc Holliday trigger.
Yeah, it's you accidentally touch it and it does not take much. And
kind of scared to pick it up a little.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. So we're gonna just talk about it. Talk about some of the features and what it does and how we've used it and what we kind of think of it. So, Craig, I'll let you start off. What made you buy it and why did you want it and those sorts of things?
Well, really, I purchased it out of spite.
Okay.
Mostly because you got it first.
Yeah.
So that was really it.
Yeah, but it makes you feel better. You saved money. So I bought mine. It was $25. Yours was on sale for $20.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think it's so if you're interested in this, I think it's still on sale at Home Depot for like $19.99.
There you go.
So I mean, like, it doesn't come with a battery,
right?
Obviously.
Well, but I mean, if you're buying one of these, you probably have a battery.
Well, you probably have other Ryobi tools. Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, it's on their One Plus system. So it was super convenient to get because I already had the batteries.
Exactly.
And it was $19. Really, I mean, like I think the sweet spot for this tool is like smaller tires.
Yeah.
Bicycle tires. Mm-hmm. The one I used it for today was my wheelbarrow tire was low.
And it probably took no time to air that thing up.
It took 10 seconds.
Yeah.
With this.
Right.
Whereas if I had to go get the air compressor,
oh man,
it's a whole process.
Yeah, because first of all, your air compressor weighs like 9 million pounds. And even if you got a pancake like I've got, I mean, they're not lightweight.
No.
They're heavy. You got, if you're doing it correctly, then there's no air in it. Mm-hmm. I mean, those things tell you not to store it with air in it because of the moisture buildup that it can have inside. So you've got to inflate that before you can. So you got to plug it in. And then you got to
listen to the loud stinking pump on that thing.
Yeah. So it's just a process.
Yes. So, but this is instant air.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I would agree that it does a fantastic job at small stuff. Now, let's talk for a moment about one of the features that it's got, and that is that it has different applications. Mm-hmm. So it's got the nozzle on it that will just do like a tire.
Right.
What is what is that called?
I don't even know what it's called. But you screw off the little black cap.
Yeah. And what is it called?
I don't know what it's called.
I do.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's got this. So one, it's got this really, I don't even know how to describe it. It's got a hose that's really long.
Yeah.
That you kind of sink in there. But then this piece is actually the one that locks onto the tire.
Right.
whatever that thing is.
Yeah, because and it's just like any tire gauge that you're going to put on it. It's got a little lock on it to keep it on there.
And now, I'll tell you this. I don't know if you know this or not, but like if you have the battery in and you stick this on what is this stupid little
clip?
No, the thing that sticks out of the tire.
Oh, I don't know. It's like what is it called?
I don't know. It's like the tire nipple or something. I don't know what it is. So anyway, if it has pressure,
the shank.
If you stick it on the shank, if you shank the shank. So anyway, if you stick it on there and you clip it down and there's pressure in the tire, it'll give you the digital readout of the pressure that's already in that thing.
Yes.
Without having to pull the trigger.
Yes.
So which is nice because you may not need to put any air in that tire.
Is it called a valve?
It could be.
Okay. I don't know.
If it's not, it should be. Oops, I did it again. Look at that. See?
It doesn't take much.
I'm going to put it down. I'm not touching it anymore.
So yeah, let's say that you're inflating a football. All right, and a football,
it comes with the needle.
So that's one of the things I was going for here. Is it's got two other little nozzles that you can put on. One is,
I know what two of them are. I don't know what the third one is.
I don't either. We're gonna get feedback from our friends probably on what that is, but one of them's a ball inflator, right? So it
has some words on here.
Can you read them?
Hang on, I may need to get my glasses. It just says valve.
So
that's all it says.
It just says valve.
That's not helpful at all.
No.
So although it does look like the valve that comes out of like a wheel.
It does.
I mean, that's what it's
what it looks like.
It's exactly what it looks like.
So maybe that clips on to.
I think you can. You can clip that on like here.
Yeah. Which.
Like that?
Yeah, it clips on there, locks in place. Oh, I wonder if that's for. I wonder if you can use that for like a air mattress or something like that.
It might be.
I don't know.
Could be. We probably need to read the instruction manual.
Yeah, we probably do. So, for instance, a typical football is supposed to be inflated to 12.5 to 13.5 pounds.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yes, that's what it's supposed to be.
I know nothing about football, but I heard about that.
Yeah, exactly. But if you've got it underinflated, as soon as you put that needle into the ball, it's going to tell you how much pressure is in there.
Right.
Oh, it's got 6 pounds of pressure. Okay. You're going to touch it, and it's going to air up really, really quickly.
Well,
and the digital gauge is wonderful.
Yeah, and so like one of the things that's cool about that is that needle actually clips in to there, whereas on like your typical air compressor, you got to stick the needle in the ball, and then press that thing on there to air it up, and then you got to hope you can pull the needle out in time before it doesn't deflate the ball. Yeah, it's really more like a bike a bike tire inflator. You know, the pump where you step on it and you got to pump. It's got the function of the hose on this thing is more closely related to a bike tire pump than it is to an air compressor. But the functionality is way quicker. So it's also got another nozzle on it that you can put on it that is probably more for like a pool float or a air mattress
or something like that. So
a kayak.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got a couple of different nozzles that come with it, plus the tire valve thing as well. So
I mean, just honestly, I mean, like for even for what you paid for it, for $25.
Oh yeah, it was a no-brainer at $25 for me to pay for this thing. Yeah, no-brainer.
So I mean, like, and I've already used it, and like, here's the thing, like, is sometimes, like, if there's something that's flat, like, let's say like a basketball or something like that, I may go, you know what, I kind of wanted to play basketball, but I'm out because I know I've got to go get that stupid compressor.
Yeah.
But like with this thing, I was like, hey, the basketball's flat. Give me 10 seconds.
A moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way I used it over the past weekend was I took our camper to an RV park about an hour away, and it had been, I don't know, 3 months since I'd gone somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to check the tires on my trailer and all of them were down, I don't know, 3 or 4 pounds of pressure. So I was like, this is easy. So I just go around and got 4 tires, pump them up, and I put 60 pounds of pressure in them.
Oh, did you really?
So they were at like 56 or something like that, and it aired them right up without any hesitation.
Now, have you read anything as to like what the maximum amount of pressure this thing can? Okay.
So the maximum amount of pressure is 150.
What?
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
From 0 to 150, and it says specifically for tires and small inflatables.
That's crazy.
I know.
How they do that?
They call that thing a pistol grip, by the way.
Pistol grip.
That's a really, it's like, that magazine would hold a lot of bullets.
I don't know what pistol they've been shooting.
Yeah, exactly. And the hose is 20 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
So you said it was really long. Well, it's 20 inches. And everything kind of clips in so that the ball needle.
Yeah, like while we were talking, I put everything away. It kind of snaps in here underneath the pistol grip trigger.
Yeah. So I guess think of it like this: on some of the Ryobi drills, there's like a magnet.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where these things store. They clip in very specifically, and they hold everything that you need. So here's the other thing that's pretty cool about this thing. It has a 3-year warranty on it.
Really? 3-year
manufacturer warranty, which I'm just telling you, most things don't have that long of a warranty on it.
Yeah.
So they feel pretty confident in it.
Did I already talk about this with my nail gun experience recently?
No, right? You told me about it. But
I told you I didn't. Okay, so everyone out there in the homeowner show sphere, so a rare moment of great customer service experience with a big box store. Which was Home Depot. Yeah. You should be able to deduce that because they're pretty much the only store that carries Ryobi. But my 18 gauge 1 Plus nail gun that we reviewed stopped working for some reason. Like you could hear like the compression actually happening. You could hear it trying to shoot, but no nails were coming out.
Okay.
And so I took it back to the store and I was like, hey, like I've had this thing for 3 months. Nails quit coming out. Like. And here's my receipt. And they said, hey, just go get another one.
It's awesome.
It took me 10 minutes in the store because I had to go find it.
Perfect.
Bring it back to customer service. Scan. Good. Here's your new receipt. Have a good one.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so hopefully if you ever had an issue with this, it would be the same thing. I'll tell you.
If it's a 3-year warranty, I would imagine they'd
do the same thing.
Yeah.
And these days, for me on Home Depot, I've got my email address
attached
to
everything, yeah.
And so as soon as I use that card, it attaches that email address.
Yep.
And I get e-receipts. And so I just keep all those things in a folder in my email, and I just know that if I've ever got to go back through them, I can find it pretty easily.
Do all their tools have a 3-year warranty, or is it just this one?
I don't know. That's a good question.
We
should probably know the answer.
That seems long.
It really does.
1 year, 2 year.
Exactly. We need to look into that. If anybody knows, send us a message, or we could probably look it up, but we don't. That takes effort.
If you're listening, Ryobi, you could tell us.
Yeah.
Along with sponsorship application.
Exactly.
Whatever.
We'll probably approve it. Maybe. I will say this. So every time that I've ever taken my camper anywhere, I take a compressor with me.
Oh, okay.
Every time. Because you just never know. Especially if something happens on the side of the road and you pull out a spare and it doesn't have the right amount of pressure in it, or, my kids are playing at the campsite and we've got a football or, something that we want to air up. It's just handy to have.
Yeah.
I'm never carrying one again because I can take this. And even with my 3/4 ton truck that takes tires that are 80 pounds of pressure max, this thing will do it.
Well, and that to me that raises a good question that maybe somebody listening to the show can help us out with. I can't think of a tool. I take that back. I can think of one. I can't think of many tools at all that I really need a compressor for. Anymore, because they seem to have come out with battery operated ones of all the ones that I might need.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the one that I would think you would definitely challenge that on, and they've got one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good it is. What am I trying to call? What it's an impact. The impact for
like tires,
lug nuts.
But they have that.
Yeah, they do. I don't know how good it is.
I don't know how good it is.
I mean, because I look at. I know
think
for
Ryobi
a fact
has one.
I know they do, but I know for a fact that like my pancake air compressor is not going to do lug nuts the way it needs to.
Sure.
I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of waiting, in between. So if that thing can actually do the job, I'm going to buy one of those tomorrow and take that with me on the road, because I got eight lug nuts on every one of my tires.
The one I was thinking of is a Dremel.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only one I could think of that I've seen some battery operated ones. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen one from like any major lines. I say that there's
Milwaukee.
No, it's not any of the big tool companies. It's like its own thing that are battery operated. I could be wrong. Someone correct me.
Does Dremel have battery operated
ones? I think Dremel
ones?
Does have a battery operated one.
I think so too.
I would assume they're good.
Yeah,
but I would also assume that like most guys that are using them are using air compressor attachments. Right. The other one that I can think of is like an air ratchet. That I use quite a bit for working on like small engines and things like that. Not to say, but I think some of these tool companies are trying to combat that, because like I told you, one of the new ones that they came out with the HP Compact was that 90-degree drill.
Yeah. Gets into small places.
Gets into those, but it's still not as small as an air ratchet.
Right.
And so I don't know that it can do the same kind of work as that can. But the only one I could really think of that was absolutely, and the reason I say absolutely necessary is because like man up, you can use a regular ratchet. I mean, you don't need an air ratchet.
No,
it's a way easier,
convenient.
Yeah. But that Dremel, I can't think of anything that's quite like that. Yeah. But if you guys out there listening can think of anything, let me know, because I'm probably missing something.
Yeah.
And we know Kevin is.
Oh, without a doubt. Now let me say this. Ryobi actually has 3 different air inflators in their line.
That's important to mention, because we don't want you looking for if you're just listening to the audio, we don't want you to find the wrong one.
Yeah, and this just kind of goes to show like nobody can compete with Ryobi on the number of tools that they've got.
Right.
I mean, it's just it's not happening yet, and I'll be surprised if anybody beats them. This is probably a point of pride for them, you know?
Yeah, well, I know we pointed out this before. Like, we haven't seen anyone yet come out with the Bluetooth music and light show for the pool like Ryobi has.
Exactly, which I actually saw one for sale today.
How much?
$60.
That's not bad.
No,
I might spend the $60 just to try it out.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So, so there's 2 other inflators that they've got. And I'll say right now, it is still on sale. The one that we're talking about is still on sale as of today.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can go on the website and look for yourself.
Right. But they've got 2 other ones. Another one that they've got is called just a high volume power inflator. Mm-hmm. And it's just got like a couple of different nozzles, and it is only really useful for air mattresses.
Okay. And pool toys and things like that. Okay.
Well, and
maybe not even that.
I mean, it's got 2 nozzles, and one of them's a smaller one, and so it would probably work for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's primarily for air mattresses.
Yeah.
But I've
seen that one. That's exactly what it looks like it's for.
Yeah. But it's more expensive.
I say that now, but I was kind of kidding earlier when I said kayak. But there are so many bigger inflatable things now that probably would use something like that.
Yeah. So it's going to put out a different amount of air than the one that we were reviewing today, because today we're talking about things that go through a small tube, where some of those inflators, like you get the electric ones for an air mattress or whatever, they've got a pretty big throughput on that nozzle, and it airs
to move a lot of air.
Exactly. Now, up from that one, they've got one that's $50,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a power inflator and deflator. So
and
it's
that
got
one actually kind of looks a little more like a compressor than.
Yeah, it does.
Does it have a pressure tank on it?
Well, no, it doesn't. I mean,
Okay.
it's still just a digital readout, and it's got a piston inside. I mean, this one has a piston and just kind of goes up and down, and that's what creates the air. But it's just a little bit bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a deflator as well as an inflator. A couple of the things that it touts that it'll inflate a car tire from flat to full in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
That's pretty fast.
that's pretty fast.
I mean, in the fact that it's saying that it's got enough. I mean, that's using a 4 amp hour battery.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna take a lot of battery in order to do that. I mean,
For sure.
to air up a car tire, that's a lot of air.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of air. And then it also says that it will inflate an air mattress in 30 seconds. A twin air mattress in 30 seconds,
Which is impressive.
It's really impressive. Yeah, really impressive. So it's a little bit bigger, but it kind of does both, the best of both of these.
Yeah.
Where it's got the inflator, deflator. It's got the air mattress stuff. It's got the tire stuff. It's kind of got it all in one. But it's $50, so it's a little bit more expensive. There's part of me that's a little jealous that this is not what I bought, but I'm really happy.
Oh yeah.
With this inflator.
I'd need to look at the one you're talking about and see how portable that, because this one's extremely portable.
Yeah, it is. I'm curious if it gives me some specs here as to how
some dimensions or something.
Yeah, dimensions. Here we go. Dimensions of this is the $50 one. This is the more expensive inflator.
Is that on sale right now, or is that the regular price?
That's regular price. Okay. So it's almost 10 inches by 4 inches.
So not a whole bunch of space.
So
less than a foot.
So we got depth is almost 9.5 inches depth. The width is 4 inches, and the height is almost 10.5 inches. So it's definitely more cube-like.
Seems top heavy.
It kind of does. But either way, it's quite a bit bigger.
Okay.
But I mean, still so much smaller than trying to carry an air compressor around.
Yeah. Does it say how much it weighs?
Yeah, it does. But I can't find it.
Because this thing,
it weighs almost nothing, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 pounds, 4 pounds.
The hose length is 28 inches on that one, so it's got 8 inches on it. I don't see weight. Oh yeah, there it is. 3 pounds.
3 pounds.
So it's not much.
It's about the
That's
same.
without a battery now.
Oh,
okay.
Well, hang on.
So you take that inflator, the one that we were talking about. The weight on it is 1.5 pounds.
Yeah.
So, it's got a couple of pounds on the bigger one.
Fatty.
Yeah. But it does some pretty cool things. It's one of those deals where I look at it and I go, this replaces a much larger tool.
Yeah.
And does the same job more efficiently for a very small amount of money.
Yeah.
So,
just because I think a lot of guys fantasize about I'm going to run this tubing. I'm going to have this pull down hose that I can just run all across my shop. And it's like, guys, we don't need to be running hose anymore.
Nope.
Why?
Nope. and
maybe if you need it, here's one I thought of, like a power sprayer for paint.
Yeah, you're definitely not getting the same amount of
pressure.
No.
Yeah.
You're definitely not. But you kind of need to be a professional to need one of those. Are you a professional?
I'm not a professional at anything.
Exactly. I knew the answer to that. I didn't need to ask it. So, what have we not talked about it?
Anything we don't like about it? I don't like the hair trigger.
Yeah, honestly,
if I had one thing to improve, I would put a little meat on the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice if you're having to sit there and hold it, because it would be kind of nice if it had like something that would kind of lock it in place. If I was trying to air up a tire from flat to full,
right?
It would be annoying sitting there holding that for 4, 5, 6 minutes, however long it takes. But I would hate for it to be a heavy trigger at that point. But I'm telling you, like, every time I pick this thing up, it goes off.
Almost wanted to like jump out of your hand.
Exactly. So I don't necessarily love that. I do. There's so much that I do like about it. I just don't have a lot bad to say about it.
It's hard to complain about it because it's made for a very simple job.
Yeah.
And it does that job.
And it's inexpensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you paid $20. I paid $25. It's super inexpensive.
Well, not just that it's inexpensive. Like when you tell me that it's $20, let's say it's $25. Let's say you're paying regular price.
Yeah.
You're paying $25. For $25, this thing has a 3-year warranty.
Yeah.
I mean, so over 3 years, I mean, it basically costs you like $750.
Right.
$775, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, nothing.
Right. No. And I'm pleased. Very pleased. So, man, I don't have much else to talk about.
Me neither. I'm done talking to you.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you for downloading today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Go give this thing a try. I think you'll be happy that you did. If you do, leave a shout out to the Homeowner Show that you heard it here first.
Yeah.
And go click the subscribe button if you haven't already. A rating and review on Apple Podcasts would be fantastic. We would love that to be something that you did for us.
You know what might be fun is just like go to the store and ask one of the clerks if you could try it out and just run around airing everything up.
You should do that anyway.
Yeah.
That'd be
laugh maniacally down the aisle. I'm going to air you up. And then I'm going to air you up.
Yeah. You have to take off running.
That's right.
Yeah. You can't walk anywhere. And you got to run. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed the episode. We had a fun time doing it for you. So, yeah. Thanks for being here. We're here every Tuesday, except last week. We were here on Wednesday. It was a weird week, but sometimes things happen. And things happened last week. And so thanks for being patient with us that you got something on Wednesday. And I'll just go ahead and say this. I'm not going to ask Craig to. Craig lost some really good friends last week. And so we put up an episode from Meg Arbor as our homeschool expert. And unfortunately, she and her husband lost their lives in a tragic car accident. So we wanted to honor her and her family by putting up that episode. And so Meg and her husband Ben were very, very, very close to Craig and his family. So send some good vibes towards that family. That would be really, really good. And go listen to that episode. Blow that episode up. I would love to see that absolutely happen.
We would love to see that. Not only just to honor Meg, but they left behind 4 kids.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that if you're led to help in any sort of way, they set up a fund to help support those kids. It's arborfund.org, which we linked up in that episode. And we can link it up in this episode as well. But just 4 amazing kids from 2 amazing people that I absolutely loved and adored and miss them tremendously.
Yeah.
So appreciate your prayers and your good thoughts and vibes towards both their families.
Yeah. Definitely. So anyway, thanks for being here. And until next time, we'll see you later.
See you.